Okay.
Yes, we are group three. Can you see my screen, my PowerPoint?
Yes, yes. Okay.
Okay.
After group three will be, let me check back what did I wrote. After group three will be group 15, yeah? Please stand by group 15.
All right, so good afternoon, everyone. And we are very honored to do our presentation here today and to share some results of our research and study. So, firstly, let me humbly introduce the members in my team. So, there are five members, which is me, Chu Yanming, and I'm the leader of our group. And next one is Chang Hui, Li Meidi, Miao Weiwei, Zhu Yifan. So, we together we all present the following points today. So, firstly, I'll introduce the three countries we selected to do the research. We selected Ireland, Maldives, and Cambodia to compare the GDP growth rate, inflation rate, and unemployment rate. So the reason why we choose these three countries is because they have outstanding results in e-commerce, tourism, and garment manufacturing, respectively. So, through our research, we were surprised to find that while COVID 19 brought an increase in employment and a decrease in GDP growth rate in many other countries, Ireland achieved an opposite trend. So, what provided such strong support for Ireland's economy, and what has allowed Ireland to grow effectively despite the impact of the epidemic? So in the second part of the report, we analyze the general situation of e-commerce in Ireland and which will give us some answers and thoughts. So firstly, let's take a look at the GDP growth rate in these three countries. So if we look at the overall GDP growth rate in these three countries, Ireland, Cambodia, and Maldives, we can see that these three countries were impacted differently over the years. So firstly, let's take a look at Ireland. So Ireland hold a continuous growth rate average of 7.6% from the year 2015 to 2020. It had experienced a growth spike of 13.2% in the year 2016 and 2017. Well, this is due to the increase in total capital stock in financial year 15 and the transfer of assets from large multinational companies through corporate inversions, intellectual property transfer, and the aircraft leasing industry. So in 2019, affected by the UK's exit from the European Union, the economy is a little unstable with a slight downward trend. But unlike other two countries listed, Ireland did not have negative impact in 2020 and maintained a growth rate of 5% in that year. Well, this is because of more than 1,500 multinational companies within Ireland and the large number of foreign experts from many Ireland's top global companies in industries such as medical devices and pharmaceuticals and computer services. So that's for Ireland. Next, let's take a look at Cambodia. So Cambodia has held an average growth rate of 7.3%. If we take a look at it in a more detailed perspective, we can see that the GDP growth from 2015 to 2019 was a healthy 10%, 10.8% until 2020, which diminished its gains, dropping down to a GDP growth of minus 6.6%. So this is partly due to COVID-19 and partly due to EU's decision to withdraw some of Cambodia's tariff preferences in 2020, which affected 20% of Cambodia's total export to the EU. So last but not least is Maldives. So the Maldives holds an average of 6.9% growth. However, it looked the largest hit it took the largest hit in 2020. The GDP dropped to 33.3%, nearly halting all gains that it had made in the years 2015 to 2019, which had an average growth rate of 9.5% prior to 2020. Well, that's mainly because of COVID 19. COVID 19 has affected the most important factor in Maldives, which is tourism. So that's the comparison of the GDP growth rate. All in all, an overall observation can be made that Ireland has remained the most stable of three economies and that Maldives is so far faring the worst. So next, my team member Miao Weiwei is going to give us a presentation about the inflation rate.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, first of all, we need to know what's the inflation rate. Inflation rate refers to the rate of increase in the price level with a year, reflect the degree of inflation indexed and a decrease in the purchasing power of the currency. Next, the Ireland has two negative inflation rates in 2015 as a result of higher return price and lower oil and gas price. In 2020, low energy price will curb inflation. Maldives inflation reached 2.8% in 2017, rising due to duties imports from the end of 2016 when it left the British Union, and the Maldives rely on imports for most of vegetables, fruits, and food, as well as industrial products. Next, Cambodia's inflation rate. In 2020, Cambodia's inflation rate rises to 2.94%. Food inflation of 5.92%, mainly due to COVID-19. Food shortages increase food demand and higher consumer food price. Food inflation of 5.92%. Next is Zhu Yifan.
Hello, my name is Zhu Yifan. Next, I will present the unemployment rate for these three countries. First is Ireland, and as you can see from this chart, Ireland's unemployment rate is generally trending down from 2015 to 2020 and up from 2019 to 2020. So why is this happening? According to Deloitte, Ireland is ranked as the best country in the world. To do business. None of the top 10 technology companies in the world are in Ireland, including Apple, Microsoft, Facebook, and others. What attracts companies from around the world to do set up headquarters in Ireland is the Irish government's low tax policy, coupled with the fact that the Irish government is implemented free and compulsory education, which has led to a significant improvement in the quality of the Irish workforce, and many tech giants are based in Dublin, driving employment, which has led to a steady decline in unemployment. Since the economic downturn in 2012, Ireland has added 377,000 jobs, and the unemployment rate has plummeted from 16% to 5% in less than 7 years. In December 2019, the unemployment rate hit a 13-year low, rising to 5.92% in 2020 due to the UK's no deal exit from the EU and the COVID-19 costs. Next page. Cambodia is next due to COVID-19. Ports were closed and flights were reduced. As a result, imports of raw material for garment manufacturing agriculture and construction were greatly restricted. Likewise, tourism, hotel, restaurant, airline, retail, and other service sectors have been severely affected by COVID-19, with a significant drop in passenger traffic. However, according to the General Department of Customs of Cambodia, total foreign trade for the year was 36.819 billion dollars, an increase of 4.98% year on year. So there was no increase in unemployment in 2020. Next page. Finally, there is the Maldives. From 2015 to 2019, the unemployment rate in the Maldives has remained at around 6%, while in 2020, this figure rises to 7.18%. This is mainly due to the impact of COVID-19 on tourism, which accounts for the largest share of Maldives' GDP in 2020, making it necessary for many tourism companies to lay off for staff or even close. Thank you.
All right, so that's for part one. So we compared the three important figures. And next, Chang Hui and Li Meidi is going to talk about some the e-commerce in Ireland. So let's welcome Chang Hui.
Hello, everybody. My name is Li Meidi. During crowd-19, which has an impact on online traffic in Ireland, we can look at the numbers below. During COVID-19, Ireland shifted their main purchasing power to supermarkets, sports equipment, online skills, and technology. In 2020, Ireland e-commerce revenue increased by 10%, while e-retailers are grip the market and generates revenue. We examined the effects of employment rate, GDP growth rate, and inflation during COVID-19. Please, next picture. And the survey found that Amazon added 17,005 trade new employees in March 2020, and in April 2019, Walmart had 15,000 employees, 6 times ahead of schedule. On April 17, 2020, Walmart had another 5,000 employees, tax the largest online clothing store and double its weekly profits. Sales were up 15.8% in May alone. Tesco's online sales rose more than 19%. Order for each one increased by 21% in 2020 to boost productivities. During the outbreak, Ireland surpassed many European countries with positive growth. This is incredible. All right,
All right, so
that's
based
all.
on the annual data of previous years, we find that except for the rise in unemployment rate due to COVID-19 and the rise in inflation rate due to transient commodity shortage, usually when the inflation rate rises, it will instead lower the unemployment rate, as well as when the money supply exceeds the demand, it will also cause inflation. So in the short run, the government can raise the inflation rate through expansionary fiscal policy to reduce the unemployment rate. In other words, the short run effectiveness of macroeconomic policies, the economic growth rate for the rest of the time has a positive effect on both inflation and unemployment rate. So that's all for our presentation today. Thank you so much for listening, and thank you so much for your time. And we hope this can give you some new ideas.
Okay, thank you very much, guys. I think so far your presentation slides are the most interesting one. I really love the way the presentation slides have been done. Amazing.
Really, thank you.
Yeah, this is what I want. I don't like words. I like data and you just explain. That is fantastic.
Yeah,
it has-
actually, we've discussed about it before, and we did some rehearsal before. We were trying to make it more effective.
Yes, I can see a lot of difference. I can see it's like really well prepared. So thumbs up, guys. I'm happy. There is a clap for you. I hope everybody can unmute the mic and clap for this group. Okay.
Thank you so much
Yeah,
for your
very
time.
good, very good. It's a clear effort. It's a clear effort that you have put in a lot of. It's a clear evidence that you have put in a lot of effort. So have you uploaded this slide in the LMS as well?
Oh, well, we've already uploaded, but because we were doing rehearsal and practicing, and we made some change, and I'm going to upload the most updated one.
Okay, great. Okay, from the audience, any question, guys? Anybody would like to ask any question? Please ask questions. Okay, not only from me, but for other side. From the class as well. Any questions you'd like to ask? Okay, maybe can you just explain to me, since Ireland was going the other way around in terms of COVID-19, they were actually doing very well. Like in Amazon showed 15,000 more workers were needed and all that. So probably maybe can you just explain to me roughly what was your biggest challenge doing this assignment then?
Sorry, I didn't get your question. Can you say it again?
What was your biggest challenge doing this assignment?
The biggest challenge is, I would say, is because every member are from different area of China, so it's hard for us to, and also we all have our own work, daily work every day, so it's hard for us to get together to communicate about and discuss about the problems. But we handled this issue, and we tried to. So every time when we get some new information, we have a WeChat group, so we discuss in our group, and also every week we have an online meeting to compare our message with each other. So, and also that's not only the biggest challenge, it's also the biggest thing we learn from the whole process.
All right, amazing. And also, are you going through your winters now, isn't it? I heard it's very, very cold in China. I had a student from Inner Mongolia, and she said that there is -8 there. It's like
Yeah,
amazing. Oh my
it's
goodness.
very cold outside, but luckily we got the heating system, so it's warm inside.
Yeah, yeah. So what is the temperature your side now?
Outdoor is around like 5 Celsius degree.
Oh my goodness. I
So
see. Yeah, yeah.
indoor is okay. Indoor is very
Indoor is okay. Yeah. All right.
yeah.
All right. Okay. Thank you very much, guys. So let us move on to. I'm glad that you learned something from this subject. Yeah. So now when you hear GDP, when you hear about inflation, you'll say, I know how to read that now, right? Okay. That's amazing. Okay. So let us go to the next group, which is what